The twin suns of the Valen Dominion dipped low behind the sprawling towers of the royal citadel as the chambers of the palace buzzed with tension. Rumors spread like brushfire after a storm. The strange human warrior who had arrived weeks earlier, the one whose past seemed wrapped in silence, had been summoned again to the inner court. Some whispered that he was too dangerous to keep close. Others whispered that he was the only one keeping the Dominion from crumbling during the unrest that gnawed at its borders. The alien princess, Lyra, moved across the polished stone floor of the observatory. Her violet eyes fixed on the horizon where the suns met the ridge of metallic mountains. She had been raised to be calm, rational, disciplined. Yet today her hands trembled. It was all because of one human with a quiet gaze and scars he never discussed. His name was Aaron, a simple name, yet one that seemed heavy with a story no one had heard. Aaron had arrived from the human colonies as a diplomatic escort 2 cycles earlier. He had fought beside the Dominion soldiers during an unexpected frontier attack, saving many lives, including Laris. His skill defied known training patterns. His reflexes were sharper than the average human soldier. His presence radiated something deeper than discipline, but what haunted Lyra was the strange familiarity she felt around him. Whenever she stood near him, something inside her stirred. A memory she could never grasp, a warmth she could not explain. At first she dismissed it as gratitude, then fascination, but the feeling grew stronger with each day dot as she stared at the sinking suns. The door behind her opened with a soft hum. Her advisor, a calm man named Redan, entered with a solemn expression. "Princess Lyra, the council has made a decision. Aaron must appear before you in private. They believe you deserve the truth." Lyra turned sharply. "The truth about what?" Redan hesitated. "About who he really is." Those words chilled her more than any cold wind ever could. She followed him to the royal chamber, her mind whirling with questions. Aaron stood at the center of the hall when she entered. He wore a simple dark uniform, marked only by faint scratches from past battles. He bowed respectfully. His face was unreadable. His brown eyes, however, revealed a flicker of nervousness, something she had never seen in him before. "Princess Lyra," he said quietly. She dismissed the guards with a wave of her hand. The doors sealed shut behind him. The chamber grew still. "Aaron," she said, stepping closer, "I need answers. The council thinks you are hiding something." His jaw tightened. He remained silent for a moment, as though gathering courage. "There are things I have tried to forget," he said. "Things that bind you and me in ways neither of us expected." Lyra felt her heart pound. "What do you mean?" He touched the back of his neck, where a faint scar stretched in a curve. "There is an old law among the frontier colonies. When 2 warriors fight side by side in defense of a sovereign life, they may be bonded without ceremony. It is rare. It is almost never used in modern times. But during the attack 2 cycles ago, when I shielded you in that collapsed bunker, a bonding seal was triggered." Lyra stared at him, stunned. "A bonding seal, that is an ancient contract. It is equivalent to a marriage oath." He nodded slowly. "Yes." Her breath caught. She stepped back, her voice trembling. "You are saying we are bonded, that we are already united under frontier law, that you are my spouse." Aaron looked down, unable to meet her eyes. "I did not intend for it to happen. But the seal chose us when survival demanded unity." She felt her legs weaken. Her mind spun as though the floor shifted beneath her. "Why did you not tell me?" "Because I feared it would disrupt your duties," he said. "You are a princess of the Dominion. Your people expect a strategic union, not an accidental bond with an outsider." "That is not the point," she snapped, her voice rising. "You should have told me. I deserve to know who stands beside me." Aaron finally met her gaze. "I was afraid you would reject the bond. And if you rejected it, the law would demand I erase all memory of the event. That would remove every moment I shared with you. I could not face that possibility. Lyra felt a sharp pain in her chest at the thought of him losing his memories. She realized then that the strange familiarity she felt around him was not coincidence. The bond had been whispering to her for cycles. But the council, she whispered. They discovered it. Yes, Aaron said. They found the frontier signature embedded in my combat gear when they ran a deeper scan. They confronted me this morning. Lyra turned away, pressing a hand to her forehead. Why does this feel like a dream I should remember? It feels like something I lived but cannot recall. Aaron stepped closer but kept a respectful distance. Because the bonding seal created a mental link. It allows emotions to echo between us even without conscious memory. She looked at him, confusion and understanding twisting together. So the warmth, the familiarity, that was the bond. Yes. She let out a long breath, steadying herself. Her heart raced, but not only from shock. Beneath the confusion was a feeling she struggled to admit. Relief. She walked toward him, her steps slow and deliberate. Aaron, look at me. He lifted his eyes. Lyra studied him with a new perspective. His courage, his loyalty, his silence, his readiness to protect her without hesitation. It all aligned. Even if this bond was not intentional, she said softly, it is real, and we must face it together. Aaron swallowed, his voice low. If that is your wish, princess. It is not about wish, she replied. It is about truth. They stood close, the air between them charged in a way neither could deny. But before anything more could be said, the chamber doors opened and Redan rushed in. Princess Lyra, the frontier rebels are moving toward the citadel. You and Aaron are needed immediately. Lyra straightened. Prepare the defenses. Aaron is coming with me. Redan nodded and sprinted away. Aaron looked at her with concern. You do not have to involve yourself directly. Yes, I do. We face this together, she said. They moved through the corridors as alarms echoed through the palace. Soldiers ran past them, preparing for a confrontation. The citadel exterior shimmered with shield activation waves. Aaron and Lyra reached the command balcony overlooking the lower platforms, where rebel transports approached in dark swarms. Lyra felt a sharp surge of adrenaline, but Aaron remained calm. We can break their formation before they land, he said. If you allow me access to the long-range cannons, you will have it. I trust your judgment. He nodded and began inputting targeting commands. His hands moved with practiced efficiency, and within moments, the cannons roared to life. Energy bolts streaked across the sky, forcing the rebel ships to scatter. The citadel trembled with the thunder of counterfire. Lyra gripped the railing, watching Aaron as he guided the defense with unwavering focus. A sudden blast shook the balcony and threw Lyra off balance. She stumbled toward the edge. Aaron reached her in an instant, pulling her back to safety. The moment his hand touched her arm, she felt a rush of warmth and clarity. The bond. Aaron held her just long enough to make sure she was steady, then released her with a soft breath. Stay close to me, he said. She nodded, her chest tightening again, not from fear, but from something far deeper. The battle intensified. Cannon fire lit the sky in bursts of blue and gold. Rebel fighters circled like hungry predators. But Aaron's commands kept the defenses cohesive. His strategies forced the enemy into predictable patterns. Giving the Dominion troops the upper hand. By nightfall, the rebels retreated, their ships vanishing beyond the horizon. When silence finally settled over the citadel, exhausted soldiers cheered. The palace recovered quickly. But Lyra moved only when Aaron stepped away from the control panels. He seemed ready to retreat again, to hide behind duty, behind silence. Aaron, she said gently, walk with me. He followed her into the quiet garden beyond the observatory. The bioluminescent flora cast soft blue light across the path. She stopped near a tall silver-leafed tree. "You once said you feared I would reject the bond," she said. "But you never asked me what I wanted." He stood still. "What do you want, Princess?" She looked up at him. "I want honesty. I want partnership. I want to understand the man the universe chose to bind me to." He exhaled slowly. "I never intended to become your spouse, Lyra. I thought I would be your guard for a short time. Then I would leave once your world was safe. But the bond changed everything for me. It tied my heart long before I accepted it." Her breath caught again. "Aaron, I care for you," he said, voice barely above a whisper. "But I did not want to burden you with a connection you never asked for." She stepped closer. "It is not a burden." He looked surprised. She placed a hand on his chest. "The bond may have chosen us, but my heart agrees with it." Aaron's composure finally cracked. He closed his eyes for a moment, savoring the meaning in her words. "Then I will stand by your side, not as a mere warrior," he said, "but as the one who is bound to you." Lyra smiled for the first time that day. "And I will stand by yours." They remained together in the quiet glow of the garden, two souls united by fate, courage, and a bond neither had expected. The suns had long set, but a new light rose within both of them. The princess who always followed reason and the warrior who always followed duty had discovered something greater than either path alone. Not a forced union, not an accident of war, but a truth revealed through courage. A truth that made the princess's heart tremble and the warrior's resolve strengthen. A truth neither would ever forge,